Hello, welcome to the channel QPK News. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the latest news of the day. How aggressive is Cheng Yi's behavior throughout Lotus Tower? He was the victim of a plot, the destruction of martial arts, and the theft of beauty, and he was made to feel so miserable that he could not bear to look directly at him. He was the victim of a plot, the destruction of martial arts, and the theft of beauty. It has been announced that Cheng Yi has produced yet another brand new drama. It is impossible to compare Lotus Tower, a tense and exciting martial arts drama, to any of the other martial arts dramas that have been produced in the past. This is not the story of a young hero launching a counterattack, rather, it is the story of a more experienced hero who has fallen from grace and is now fighting for his life. It is possible that the abuse in the middle cannot be described, that Cheng Yi's abusive physique has returned, and that in spite of all the challenges, he is still able to look at life with indifference. All of these possibilities are possible. This is a potential outcome. The novel Lotus Tower with Auspicious Patterns, written by Teng Ping, served as the inspiration for the film Lotus Tower. This martial arts suspense and mystery novel received an 8.7 out of 10 on the Douban website. Zhang Yimou is the man responsible for bringing Lotus Tower to the big screen. Back then, 13 years ago, he was still known as Li Xiangyi, and he served as the Sigyaman Master. He had held this position since. At the age of 16, he founded Sigyaman with the goal of becoming the most powerful person in the world. He is a young man with a positive outlook and an aura that permeates the rivers and lakes. He is an optimistic young man. She pretended to be a formidable swordswoman despite the fact that she had a legitimate parenting role and was also a career criminal. She did not like using an umbrella on rainy days, and she was concerned that the rain would leave stains on her clothing, so she relied on her own internal strength to shake off the rain instead. She was concerned that the rain would leave stains on her clothing. However, the 18-year-old who was supposed to be the most energetic young man was betrayed and poisoned by his fellow clan leader Di Feisheng when he competed with the leader of the Golden Mandarin League. In this competition, he was supposed to be the most energetic young man. It was anticipated that he would be the young man with the most vitality in this competition. He was framed, and after that, he was put to death by being shot into the water. Qiao Wanchuan, the only female protagonist in the original work, is not the official match of the male protagonist, rather, she is the male protagonist's ex-girlfriend. This makes her the only female protagonist in the original work. The male protagonist is the only person who has ever pursued a romantic relationship with her. She has never had a romantic relationship with anyone else. On top of Yangzhou City, the sword carried out a series of intricate dances for the sole purpose of putting a smile on the beautiful lady's face. She was also moved by the man's true feelings, and the two became a good match, but Li Xiangyi was seriously injured and fell into the East China Sea, where his whereabouts are unknown, leaving Qiao Wan alone to suffer Acacia, and even almost died for love. Qiao Wan was left to suffer Acacia by herself, and she almost died for love. Qiao Wan was abandoned to endure Acacia by herself, and as a result, she came dangerously close to losing her life for love. But when they met again, she thought of marrying as a married woman. And he was already Li Lianhua, and the two seemed to have nothing to do with each other, but when he learned that Qiao Wan had been poisoned, he used his inner strength to save her, which resulted in her death. But the two seemed to have nothing to do with each other until he learned that Qiao Wan had been poisoned. However, it appeared that there was no connection between the two at all. As a result of the proliferation of his old wounds, his poison is no longer capable of being contained. The conclusion was still very tragic and upsetting despite the fact that the male protagonist did not end up dying in the end. Even though I respected Li Lianhua for having an open mind, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was grossly unfair to him. The good news is that he had two brothers who never stopped believing in him, even when it seemed as though there was no way out of the situation. The martial arts and tense situations are both featured in the drama Lotus Tower, which takes place in ancient times. The investigation that Li Lianhua conducts into a number of strange occurrences takes up the majority of the narrative's early stages. The conclusions to which those cases ultimately come are frequently unexpected by all parties involved. Despite the fact that the male protagonist always emerges victorious in the end, each and every case is a fascinating study in its own right. I am looking forward to the adaptation of the film and the television drama, despite the fact that it is a little too depressing. And I really hope that the screenwriter will be able to pull it off.